Looking to learn life lessons without going through the experience? You've come to the right place. Welcome to Hidden Struggles with your host, Lady C.
All right now, hot child in the city, walking around looking pretty. Okay, back for another episode talking about those missed opportunities. Because in the previous episodes I'm talking about me being a co-op student, getting my first job after going to this bogus business school. Instead of having my butt enrolled in college, I'm sitting over here trying to make ends meet with these little dead-end jobs, getting hired and then laid off because some company going out of business, right? But see, if I would have been going to some community college, at least I would have been able to have some credit that I could have put towards a degree later, you know? And so because of belonging to this religion, Jehovah's Witnesses, and you're over here thinking the end is around the corner. And today it's like, you know, years later after I went to school, it's like in the corner, around the corner, through the corner, all these kind of corners and stuff. And they still telling these kids the same thing that they told me about no need to go to college, you know? And so then, you know, I just found my little transcripts here, you know, and I remember taking this to a community college when we first woke up to the truth about the truth. And I knew that these credits didn't mean anything. I don't even know why I even wasted that lady's time going in there, you know, because I knew it was a business school, but I just thought, you know, who knows? Let's just make a crapshoot. Just try something, right? Let's see if some of these credits could amount to something going to college, you know, to be enrolled in college. So I went to a community college in Northern Virginia, talked to this academic advisor who really should have been retired because she had about as much excitement in me being there as me finding out about, you know, these credits that I thought I had were bogus, right? So anyway, she takes my transcripts. She goes back to her computer, looks at whatever, comes back and tells me, she looks at me like she's delivering news that my cat had died or something. You know, it was like, oh my God, it was just bad news, you know, but she didn't offer anything in terms of, but guess what? If you just go ahead on and get started, you can do blah, blah, blah. She didn't give me no pep talk. She didn't give me no encouragement. She just gave me this bad news. And it was like at the end of the day, and so I said, you know what, that lady, she's probably having a long day, hard day, and she just needed to go home and sit down somewhere. But you know what? See how bad that was? So imagine if I would have had an academic advisor that had a little bit more spunk and gave me a little bit more hope than this lady. So when you go out here, it's the people that you come up against that make you feel like you just the lowest the low and you can't start because they're making you look like the world has come to an end already. Even though the world that you thought was supposed to come to an end ain't coming to an end, this woman, she made you feel like your world had stopped that day, okay? And that's how I felt. And so I left the school and I never returned back for maybe a couple years later. But can you imagine if I would have got started when I was going to get started, how I would have been 2 years ahead, all because that lady was so negative. And she wasn't negative in what she said. Her whole body language, her countenance was just negative, you know? And so at that point, I did not get started. And so that's why I tell people, if you have the opportunity to be in somebody's life and give them a push in the right direction, please do that. Don't be in front of some young person and look at them and make them think that their world is over or that they can't get started or that they can't pick up the pieces and do something. And that's the way I felt. Looking back, I was like, this lady, she failed me on so many fronts because instead of her just giving me that push in the arm that I needed, you know, and the school, you know, if she was really working for the school, she didn't do a good job because you're trying to get people in the school, not pushing them away from the school, you know? And so at that point, I was like, if I got to start from scratch, I ain't doing it. I just felt so low, you know, because I didn't have anybody to help me to think about, hey, look, these are your options and you can do this and that and the other. And it wasn't until my dad's cousin told me, she said, listen, just take one class a semester. This is later on. You know, I got that, you know, that shot in the arm later. But can you imagine if my cousin was in my life then, to help me out and see what I needed to do? So that's why, that's really the real reason why I really want to come out on this channel, Hidden Struggles, because I want people to be empowered and to be encouraged to do something and to realize that just because you didn't go to school right out of high school doesn't mean you can't start. It doesn't mean that you can't do something. Do something, try to do something, Don't just sit there and think that it's over, because you can do whatever it is that you put your mind to. But I just want to come out and share that with y'all because we need to start empowering people. We need to start letting people know that, yes, they can do things. Yes, you can be 80 years old and go to school. Because somebody just graduated. One of my friends just graduated, and she took a picture with somebody that was in their 70s or 80s graduating with her class. And when I graduated, there was an 84-year-old woman that was graduating with me. So I'm just telling y'all, don't lose it. Don't lose it. But keep your chin up, keep your head up, because you got this. You can do this. All right. And in the next episode, I'm going to be talking all about how I earned 36 credits in one semester. And I'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks so much for listening to Hidden Struggles with your host, Lady C. This program was sponsored by Critical Thinkers, online at hiddenstruggle.com. Feel free to send an email to info@hiddenstruggle.com, and we'll catch you next time on Hidden Struggles. The views and opinions of our guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of Critical Thinkers.